Hi everyone, I'm Celeste. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm just popping on pretty quickly to give you an update on what I've been reading, my plans for next week, and also to select the winner of a drawing to celebrate my 1-year anniversary here on BookTube. Yay! And I had asked you guys to let me know in the comments what you were most interested in receiving as a prize, and overwhelmingly the answer was one of my little homemade notebooks. So I'm pleased that you like the notebooks and eager to pick a winner for that. But before I do, let's just talk about what I've been reading. I did just finish Madam, Will You Talk by Mary Stewart. I finished that today. And I've only read one other Mary Stewart so far. I read Wildfire at Midnight last August, and so this August I'm reading Madam, Will You Talk. I believe it was her first published novel. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a bit of a lark. She's off on vacation in Roman France and investigating a mystery and seeing all of the old aqueducts and bridges and churches and so on. So it was good fun. I don't think it's going to end up being my favorite Mary Stewart, but I am sort of reading them in order, at least for now. So yeah, it was fun. It was a little implausible at times. I think I may actually do a separate review once I've got a few more Mary Stewart novels under my belt. I may, rate them or compare them. But it was fun and goes along perfectly with the August heat that we've been experiencing, at least here in my part of the woods in New York State. Next week, I'm going to be taking my son on a little holiday, and we're going to be going to the Jersey Shore. My son has loved going there for years. We've gone, I think, 3 times now and stayed at different places. For those of you who don't know, the Jersey Shore is kind of carnivalesque. It's the boardwalk, and so there's Ferris wheels and fun houses and glow-in-the-dark mini golf and ice cream cones and skee ball and bocce and all kinds of rides and things to go on. And it's all right along the Atlantic coast in New Jersey. Our hotel is just a little tiny hotel right on the beach. So our balcony will be looking out over the ocean this way, and then directly to our left is the boardwalk. So for him, I think it's going to be a great deal of fun. Yeah, so we're leaving on Sunday on that trip. And to that end, I've been trying to decide what I'd like to read next, and perhaps you can help me. I'm in sort of a mood for a number of different types of reads. I had 2 books that were recommended to me that I have not read and really don't know much about. The first is one that's certainly made the rounds on BookTube, and that is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, and I think that's how you say her name. And it's received a great deal of praise. I had given this hard copy of the book to my mother-in-law last Christmas as part of a big stack of books that were wrapped in cellophane with a ribbon, and she really enjoyed it, and I've heard really great things about it. So that definitely seems like a nice summer beach read, as far as I know. So that's a possibility. And then my sister had also recommended Divine Secrets of the Ya-Ya Sisterhood, and that is by Rebecca Wells. And this is also supposed to just sort of scream summer and beach read, and so that's also a contender. Additionally, I had been thinking of some sort of 1960s, 1970s sorts of vibes, and to that end, who was it? I think it was Grape Jelly Library. Had recommended Come Fly the World. And this is actually nonfiction. It's the jet age story of the women of Pan Am. And so this is Pan Am between 1966 and 1975, and it tells you all the qualifications that, sexist of course, that stewardesses had to have, and these weave together the real life stories of these adventurous women, from small town girl Lynn Totten, a science major who decided life in a lab was not for her, to Hazel Bowie, one of the relatively few black stewardesses of the era, as they embrace the liberation of their new jet set life. So this is kind of a behind the scenes look at being a stewardess in the 60s and 70s, which sounded pretty interesting to me. So that's a possibility. I had also been considering reading this book, It's Hard to Be Hip Over 30 by Judith Viorst. This is one of the beautiful Persephone books, of course. And this is actually a book of poetry. And so the front flap here, oh, look at this end paper, first of all. You have to see that. So this book, let's see, first published in the United States in 1968 and 1971. So this says, the honeymoon is over and he has left for work, whistling something obvious from La Boheme and carrying a brown calfskin attaché case I never dreamed he was capable of owning. So she's going on about her marriage, might be a divorce as well, and just sort of her personal poetry from a period in her life, or at least from the speaker's life, because as we know, the poet is not necessarily the speaker in the poem, even when it says I. But anyway, I had heard really wonderful things about this. Of course, Persephone books are gorgeous. It's a rather slim volume. It would be easy to slip in my purse and bring along with me. It's number 12 in the Persephone books, and so that's a definite contender as well, to bring that as poetry. I had also been considering Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I read this once when I was quite young, and I've always wanted to reread it. And so for some reason that's sort of drawing me in as well. And then in addition to that, let's see, I've got a couple of nonfiction books that looked really interesting. This one everyone is going to know. It's a classic by now, The Soul of an Octopus by Cy Montgomery. Of course, if I'm going to the beach, what a wonderful time when you're next to the ocean and can hear the ocean's tide and roar, to be reading this when it's right outside your balcony, and to be thinking about the sea and its creatures. I've heard marvelous, marvelous things about this book. I've never read it, so this would be new to me. Another possibility is, this is a brand new book which I borrowed from our local library, and I don't know why this fascinates me, but it does. It's a brand spanking new title. It is Ice by Amy Brady. Try to get that out of the ring light there so you can see the cover. And so this is a sweeping historical narrative on a uniquely cool topic. Amy Brady has written a sweeping historical narrative on a uniquely cool topic in a style that is both thoroughly informative and buoyantly engaging. And so this is basically the story of ice. Ice is everywhere, in gas stations, in restaurants, in hospitals, and in our homes. We think nothing of dropping a few ice cubes into tall glasses of tea, I know I do, to ward off the heat of a steamy summer day. Winter sports like hockey are now played year-round, and air conditioning makes once arid regions habitable. But the story, or habitable, so this is the story of how ice on demand revolutionized modern life. And so it just looked really interesting to me, and sort of a quirky topic for a hot vacation. And you've got this gentleman on the cover, so it can't be all bad, right? So there's those. Okay, and then I've also got some books which have been on my TBR for a number of months, and ones that I've been sharing with you that I wanted to read that I haven't quite gotten to yet. So as I mentioned in my last video on Detectives in Heat, Sizzling Summer Mysteries, there is The Vanishing Shadow, which is a Judy Bolton mystery. It's #1 in the Judy Bolton series, and I've always wanted to read Judy Bolton, this is a big contender for a book to bring with me. And then I'm still trying to make my way to one of these two Rumer Godden books, which I mentioned in my birthday vlog, I want to say. So one is an episode of Sparrows, nice vintage copy there. And then The Green Gage Summer. And so, oh, I love this cover. The greens and the blues and the turquoise in contrast with the yellow is just my favorite colors. And then finally, I'm looking at a few others, and there's actually a few more that I have off camera that I forgot to include, so those will be contenders as well. But this is a book I've never read before, and this is A High Wind in Jamaica by Richard Hughes. A classic story, and this is on the high seas of the Caribbean, a family of English children is set loose, sent by their parents from their home in Jamaica to receive the civilizing effects of England. When their ship is captured by pirates, the thrilling cruise continues as the children transfer their affection from one batch of sailors to another. And as life in the care of pirates reveals its dangers, the events which unfold begin to take on a savagely detached quality. Now, from some of the descriptors in this description, I'm not sure if this is a book that's aged well in terms of racist tropes or not, but I've heard that it's a classic. I love vintage classic editions. I've always wanted to read this so that I could decide for myself, and I've heard it's a really good story to boot. So this is a possibility. And then I'm also considering bringing an old friend, an old favorite, and that is Gift from the Sea by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. And the thing that's interesting in this situation is that we'll be going to Wildwood, New Jersey, but also visiting Cape May. And Cape May is actually where part of the search for the little Lindbergh baby took place long ago. And yeah, so it has meaning, sort of a sad meaning in that sense. But I remember reading this book in high school, and oh, just how special it was to me. I think I actually took this on a family trip to Bermuda as well, and read it on a cliff overlooking the ocean. A little cliff, a very small cliff, not a big cliff. But in any event, and this is my vintage copy of this book. There's a picture of Anne Morrow Lindbergh on the back there. So I may bring this one along anyway, no matter what. And there are some other choices as well. So we will see what I end up reading. I'm going to try to make a video next week while we are on vacation. We'll see how that goes in terms of my ability to do it from a technological standpoint. But I would love to come to you live from the Wildwood Cape. So we'll see how that goes. And now, without further ado, I would like to share with you a little notebook that I made. Now, bear in mind, these notebooks are in no way perfect, okay? By no means are they perfect notebooks. I see all the little imperfections and things as I'm learning how to do paper crafting and bookbinding and notebook making and so forth. But I'm hoping it's acceptable for you guys. And it's done in sort of summery, end of summer, beginning of fall colors. And so this is the notebook that I will be giving as a prize to whichever name I'm about to draw. So this is a chipboard project, so it's a nice hard cover. It's very durable, so you could basically write on it like this, and it would hold up under your paper. It's got a little cut apart on the front that I place that says "Happiness blooms from within." I've put a little gold giant paper clip next to it here that's clipped onto the front, and it's also a pen holder, and put kind of a fun novelty pen in sort of a pale peachy pink color with a diamond ball top. So there's that. And then when you open this notebook up, here is the inside, and it's got a sort of again pale peachy pink inside. So and the same of course on the other side. So I'll just show you that. So yeah, this was a real lot of fun to make for me, and I'm getting a little better at it each time as we go. And I just loved the floral paper that I used for this. It sort of screams late August, early September. So yeah, so this is what I will be giving away today. And to that effect, I've taken the names of everybody who had commented on my anniversary video and put them into this little teapot that belonged to my mother, Carol. And so you can see all of the names inside there on little folded pieces of paper. And I'm just going to sort of shake them up. Okay. And I shall select the winner now. Okay. Okay. And the name that I have pulled from the teapot is at Barbara Dobson 9298. Again, that's at Barbara Dobson 9298. So congratulations, Barbara. And you are the winner to celebrate my 1-year anniversary of this blank notebook, handmade. And so what you'll need to do is email me. And the address that you can email me at, I'm going to put it on the screen here as well, is Celeste Kov, that's Kov, 7 at gmail.com. Okay, and you can also find it if you go to my About page for a Reader's Almanac with Celeste. Up at the top, if you click on the profile, it should take you to an About page. And there's an email listed there. It says for business inquiries, but this is our business, homemade notebooks and books and bookish things and all good stuff. So it should give you the email address there as well. So email me with the details of where you would like this sent, and I will be happy to mail it out to you as soon as I return from my vacation. So I would expect it early September. Okay, so congratulations. And I just wanted to say that I want to thank everyone who has watched, who has commented, who has liked, who has subscribed, who has bothered to take the time, who has thought about what books they love, who has engaged in meaningful conversation. That's the reward. That's what makes this all worthwhile to us booktubers. And I just wanted to say that there will be other giveaways in the future. And so if your name was not called this particular time, there will be many other opportunities in the future for, just fun giveaways and bookish things. Okay. So keep watching. Yeah, so that's about it for today. We're having quite a rainstorm outside, which is why the lighting might be kind of dark in here today. But I'm looking forward to my trip to the Jersey Shore and hopefully to bringing you some news from there live and sharing with you what I'm reading and seeing and enjoying. And I hope that you're enjoying your week too. So that's it for today, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.